This thing's so funny with the warm light versus the cool light. Y'all, it's a cloudy day here in Nacogdoches, but it's not that dark in my room. So this should be better, I hope. Maybe. Anyway, I wanted to say, to do a more coherent ending to the whole thing. It's hard to explain the kind of inner workings of all these things without going into things that really aren't my purview to get into so much. But let me just say that the one thing I will say is that I'm very grateful to the district for having hired me. I didn't present myself as a mixed person, obviously, because I did not know at that time that I was mixed, definitely. Like I said, my mom was always a woman of color, and so I didn't really think it was anything special. I wish I could explain it better to you. All I know is that, like, my kids started school at that school that I was teaching at. And so my mom attended all of the events. So kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And I started teaching there when my daughter was beginning third grade, my eldest daughter. My other daughter was beginning second grade. And I think I said recently how good they were when I first started, about being so nice to me, giving me proximity to my children and everything. I'll go into that in another video because it's really kind of cute. But the problem is, they knew, right? Because my mom had attended all these events as my daughter's grandmother. And so most people that were paying attention knew that was my mom. But for some reason, I guess the people that were sort of, I guess you can call them racist, really. But the people that were racist didn't really key into it somehow. I guess they just kind of overlooked it or didn't realize it until I started working there. And then they got angry. It's hard to explain. Because she was related to me, and that meant that I was a full-time teacher, and that they had to work with me, when somehow someone had led them to believe that wouldn't happen in education in Texas, in that town, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand it all, because I don't think like a racist person, so this is all stuff I've had to kind of come to terms with over time. But I've always been very grateful to the district. The woman that hired me actually hired me 3 times. She hired me as a substitute, as a special ed aide, and as a special ed teacher. And I've always been really grateful to her and to the entire district as a whole. And I have a lot of good memories of being there, and, I'll probably get into those one day, but this is supposed to be a podcast, so, which is not about anything having to do with stalking at all. But I am being hard stalked by these people. And it's hard to explain, like I said, how the state hospital relates to all of it, except for to explain to you that sometimes special ed classes are of service to these kids that come from there, because they want to have a real elementary school experience before they're too, before they're too far outside the bell curve of behavior to be able to be amenable to being in a classroom all day. So they try to expose them to elementary school because it's, a more amenable environment for someone with mental problems, I guess you'd say. So that was one way, right? There are racist people also in the state hospital system, though. And that became a personal danger to me, because they locked on me like on a target and started being interested in my career path because of that, only because of that. And also when I started going to meetings, because unfortunately for me, as it turned out kind of unluckily, AA is also a place that attracts a lot. Remember, I've been in the Eastern Star. I was inducted into the Order of the Eastern Star. I've been in lots of situations where I don't know what to say, where it kind of lends itself on the bell curve of people that outside of the bell curves might be a little racist, perhaps, sometimes. And one of those, but I've done that my whole life, because I consider myself to be equally white and black. So, well, more white than black. But I mean, I really don't differentiate. I'm just me. And I would never, ever disrespect my mother by saying that her contributions to my genetics are insignificant or undesirable. So, but anyway, sorry. It's very hard for me to have watched her go through everything that she went through to try to get me to where I am today. I know that if I had never acknowledged her, that my life would be easier in some respects. But I could never, I'm just not that kind of person that would ever do that, you know. Sorry. So these racist people from this sort of mentally unhealthy foundation, I guess you would say. I'm not sure how to really put it, but you know, the people, there's a bell curve kind of people, even though bell curves are kind of out of fashion now. And so you consider that, like, in every situation, there's going to be a lot of people that are racist, some of who are very mentally healthy. I mean, it's really just an opinion when you look at it. And I don't have a problem with racist people, but there are some people